Hello everyone, the Nerdy Steve here, and today I will be featuring a blue-red tempo deck in Standard. The list is in the description below. I'm going to talk a little bit about the plan of the deck, and then we'll play a couple of games. So, let's go. This is a relatively simple deck. We want to really get an early Delver of Secrets or a Ledger Shredder to apply some pressure to our opponent, backed up by defending those cards with Spell Pierce and Shore Up. And then, if those cards don't really go the distance, we have Haughty Djinn as a way to close out the game with a really, really big body that is going to be really hard for your opponent to interact with. In the meanwhile, we have, Phoenix Chick to deal some incremental damage, which can be brought back after you discard it to Ledger Shredder or maybe even potentially Liliana of the Veil. And we have a lot of Lightning Strike and Play with Fire to, deal a lot of the final damage if, we haven't killed our opponent with our creatures already. So we want to put Delver or Ledger early down on the battlefield to apply pressure. And then we want to control what our opponent plays with our counter magic, like Make Disappear and Spell Pierce. And then, finish our opponent off with Haughty Djinn if we haven't already killed them with our other creatures. That's the basic strategy. Let's go see how it works. Okay. This is a very interesting hand in that it doesn't really do a lot on its own. We really need the Delver of Secrets to flip. We have no cantrips or anything, so the Haughty Djinns are just 0/4 creatures that do nothing. So we're really, really at the mercy of the top of our deck. But I think that is just one of the things we have to accept when playing this type of deck, is that a lot of the power comes from Delver of Secrets, and sometimes you just have to get really lucky. So let's hope it works out. Oh, and that's beautiful. Also, Haughty Djinn is really, really good counter to Thalia. It makes our Consider still cost 1 mana, which is really, really funny. But now we're in a really, really wonderful spot here. The Insectile Aberration is just such a quick clock. And even though we can't reliably flip Delver Secrets because we don't have cards like Brainstorm in the environment, it's still just an incredible, incredible card. And we try to maximize it with how we build our deck, right? So now we can do this. Let's consider. We don't need that. And we do have a Spell Pierce to potentially, if anything goes awry here, we can counter a Wandering Emperor. But I don't even know if we're going to need to. Everything has flying. I don't think we're dead here. We're taking 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 maybe? This is gonna create another creature, so it'll have 5 power. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and that will... Oh, now our opponent will gain more life? Uh-oh, can our opponent play enough creatures for it to be lethal? I didn't even think of that as a possibility, but... Not like we could do anything else, really. We are at 1, everyone. Six, 7, 8, 9 damage. What a close game, GG. Alright. This is... I don't know if it's a better hand than last time, but it's still really, really good. The turn 1 Delver of Secrets gives us that really, really powerful potential. If we can flip it anytime soon, we're in a really, really good spot. We then have Consider to, find something and preemptively pump Haughty Djinn and Play with Fire for some removal or interaction. So, like, pretty decent so far. I would maybe like a Spell Pierce, but I'm not gonna complain too much. Just enough. Alright. Decline. So now, again, we are in the let's hope our opponent doesn't do anything. Yep, no blocks. Play with fire. We do get, this is actually one of our only manipulation spells. We get to scry here. We're going to put it at the bottom. And this is hopefully going to increase our chance of getting an instant or sorcery. It did not happen. So we're a little sad. A little sad. But that actually is something I didn't even know going into this. Like, that Scry with Fire, or Play with Fire could help us with that, so that's really nice. Each player discards a card.
I'm tired of your secrets.
We are discarding a Phoenix Chick, which we can then get back. Hopefully, if we flip it, we'll have all of our flyers. Oh, so this is actually really, really sad. I should have held priority, so I could have considered between the triggers. That was actually really, really bad. Yeah, because we would have had it, I think. So I'm a little upset about that. I now know I need to hold priority, right?
I'll be back.
Not anymore, right? But now I do. And now you do too. So, in between the first Delver Secret Trigger and finding that we didn't get an instant or sorcery, we could have cast the Consider to get rid of that card, right? And it would have allowed our second Delver to potentially find an instant or sorcery to flip. Now our opponent's at 3. Which is good for us. That means they're close to dying. And we're close to winning. GG. Okay. We do not have a turn 1 Delver here, but I think we're gonna see if Ledger Shredder is good enough. And it might be. I have no idea what our opponent is on, though. So, we'll see. The good thing about Ledger Shredder and Haughty Djinn is that they are relatively... They're relatively meat hook proof, which is nice. And it looks like our opponent is on some type of Sultai mill mid-range strategy. So I have no idea what to expect. So we have to be careful. Defiler of Flesh. As an additional cost to cast a black permanent spell, you may pay 2 life. Instead of playing 1 black mana. Okay, whenever you cast a black permanent spell, target creature you control gets +1/+1, gains menace until end of turn. Okay. What do I want to do here? Let's... Inspired Idea. Our maximum hand size is 4. So we will be discarding stuff. Oh, we have to discard 2 cards? Ouch. Hopefully this will be fine. Maybe I don't need all of the Make Disappears and Spell Pierces. But I think I'm going to feel much better next turn when I can keep multiple counter magic up. And maybe I should have discarded one of them, though, to to the Ledger Shredder to increase its power. But we can counter that, which is nice. 1, 2. Huh. Alright. 7. This could be bad for us. We are taking 8 and going to 3. We want our opponent to play spells so we can counter them, which will increase the power of Haughty Djinn. So I'm going to go into full control here, because our opponent's tapped out. So what I want to do is that, and then I'm going to play with fire our opponent. I might want to Spell Pierce. Or we can discard Spell Pierce now? Yeah. So we just really wanted the instant in our graveyard. 5, alright, yeah, and then I think we're good now. 5, 6, 7, 8, yeah. GG. Okay. Alright. We have our Delver plan, and hopefully this works out. Like last time. No blocks. We would really like it to flip here. It is not, and that's fine. Reveal. Beautiful. So we will play that and then get this Delver. I'm gonna... Oh, I don't need to go into full control, though. Do I? Maybe. But we only have the one trigger. But it might be worth it, because maybe after we flip, we won't get priority to maybe consider. I don't know. Alright, we don't have anything to exile. Beautiful. Now, this is good. Oh, maybe we should have played with fire, though. That was probably a huge mistake. Because this... Our opponent's going to have a much quicker clock now. For 2, let's make disappear. And our opponent will concede. GG. Thank you for watching me play some Izzet Delver in Standard. I was very, very surprised at how this deck played. Yeah. I don't really know how else to put it. It felt really good. It felt impactful and powerful enough. It felt... I don't know, y'all. I was really surprised by how well it worked. You know, and so I don't know what else to say. Maybe we got lucky with Delver those games. Delver is really kind of the fulcrum point of this deck, in that, like, having it flip early is just vital to the deck's success. But, you know, you can kind of consistently let that happen because you have so many instants and sorceries, right? But this deck, it just felt really good. Everything worked together. And, yeah, I was very, very surprised. Cheap interaction, like Spell Pierce and Make Disappear, become much, much more powerful when you have a threat that is lethal in 5 turns, right? It makes your opponent have to be proactive and respond. And a lot of these mid-range decks aren't doing that. They don't have the capacity to act in a way that's you know, very, very quick. So maybe this is potentially hitting a really cool spot in the metagame, and maybe it's a way to go and to look into. I think there's definitely something here to play with, and I don't know what I would change right now. Like, you could maybe have Slip Out the back as well to protect your Delvers. In the next couple days, I will be playing with the blue-white version of this deck that plays very similarly, and I'm excited now to see how that's going to go. But yeah, this deck was great. I liked it, and it was wonderful. So with all that being said, if you haven't already, like, comment, subscribe. Great way to help support me and the channel. You can watch me play live at twitch.tv/thenerdysteve. And yeah, I hope you have a wonderful morning, afternoon, or evening wherever you are. And thank you so much for watching. Bye.